Hello and welcome to SDTV. My name is Ilsa Aziz and today we will be talking in this interview about the toxic smog crisis that is currently affecting areas of both Pakistan and India's Punjab. Smog is an air pollution that is made of smoke, fog and other atmospheric pollutants. The main contributors to smog in Pakistan are stubble burning and emissions from vehicles. The levels of smog have reached all-time highs recently in Punjab, and to give some context, the EPA's Air Quality Index says that readings of below 50 qualify for good air quality, and readings of over 300 are hazardous. Abid Umar, the founder of Pakistan's Air Quality Initiative, says that every day in November, the readings in Lahore surpass the hazardous rating, and some days even scoring over 1,000. One region in Lahore even scored 1,917. Life as we know it for people in Lahore and Punjab have really changed in the last few weeks. Schools have been moved to online, public spaces have closed, and residents have been advised to stay indoors. 1.8 million people in Punjab have sought medical attention due to health effects that the smog has had. To talk some more about this issue today, we have with us Dr. Shaheen Akhtar. Dr. Shaheen is a professor of international relations at the National Defence University in Islamabad. Some of Dr. Shaheen's specializations include South Asia regional security, conflict resolution, peace building, as well as foreign policy and contemporary global issues. Thank you so much for joining us today, Dr. Shaheen.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. So, firstly, I just wanted to ask, how would you frame the key issues surrounding public health and smog when considering the two Punjabs?
Well, initially it was considered more to do with the stubble burning, and people were talking about it. But what we see, it is emerging as a huge public health crisis now. And it is like becoming a seasonal, say, affair. A new season is being introduced, which is like causing, say, public health crisis, especially in Punjab. At this time, it has spread to other districts as well, and across the border in the Indian Punjab. So what we see is the farmers there and farmers here, they were actually indulging in stubble burning, and it was considered a major source, though it is not. It is vehicular emission actually, which is contributing much more than that. So the thing was like how to actually manage that, because it's slowly affecting the health of the children in particular, and the people who are already suffering respiratory diseases, elderly, women. Noise interfering the public life as well. School has been shut down, markets have been shut down, there have been say green lockdown. So, and the brick lane was another source of emission, which is contributing to that. And there have been some effort being made by the government to say convert them to say zigzag technology and all that. So they are less. I mean, though it is not really completely clean technology, but still it is how to reduce the emission because of that. But the thing is, no, there's a cumulative effect of that on the human being. So, on the hospital, as you know, the healthcare system in countries like us is already very, very fragile, poor, which was exposed in pandemic. You can see that. So, health sector, which was considered that it will not really be affected by the climatic impacts or because of the emission contribution and all that. But what we see is it has actually hit that, well, I mean, the people, the humans, very severely. So it is like it should be seen as a emerging health crisis, and since it is affecting the health of the population and their mobility, and especially people, if the children cannot go to school, and there are long term effects on that. The fertility, if you look at the number of people dying of that, you will see that it's like rising. It is in millions, you see. And in South Asia overall, you share this air sheds. So India and Pakistan also share the air shed. So it is like basically having a transformatory dimension as well. With the result, what you see is some effort made here, some efforts made there will not actually resolve the problem unless there is, say, kind of a collective approach. So, because you share ecology, and if you share ecology and there's a shared challenge, so it has to be something which both sides actually look at it together. So, and one can also learn from, say, experiences that we have, say, had on both sides.
Yeah.
It is basically a huge public health crisis that the both sides are facing today. In fact, not only the Indian Punjab but the Delhi. Delhi is another like a city which is badly affected by smoke, and this has become a pattern. At some time, say Delhi is on the top, and sometime it's Lahore is on the top. So it's both cities which are mega cities, which are hugely populated cities. So they obviously this is a huge challenge to both sides actually.
Thank you. So, kind of continuing from what you said about it being a challenge from both sides, the Punjab Chief Minister Mariam Nawaz said recently that she's considering reaching out to her counterpart in Indian Punjab in efforts of climate diplomacy. So, what do you think the collaborative steps could be that India and Pakistan could take?
I would say that, as I mentioned earlier, that there has been slowly a realization that this problem is not really cannot be resolved one by taking steps at the subnational level or even national level, but it is like also how you look at the problem by blaming each other, which it is was initially, that it is like coming from the Indian side or it's say from the Pakistani side. No, it is not, because there's some ecological phenomena, because in the air, this shade is shed, what you see the wind direction, you see the velocity of the wind as well. So this time it was like there was a more wind and a high intensity wind, which actually shifted the more this focus or pollutants towards the Pakistani side. So it is something which need to be like understood in a scientific manner, and there are many things that can be done in terms of increasing the understanding of the challenge itself. Where India and Pakistan can deploy technology, especially AI, looking at the concentration of pollutant in the air, and you can forecast that, and then how to deal with that. If they say that you can have artificial rain and all that, one is how you manage it, how you reduce the emission to begin with. The other thing is that if it is happening, which people are suffering, how you actually then deal with it. So it is on both, I think, level. One can say that you can have a collaborative effort, say effort. You can see that what is the level of emission, concentration of pollutant, and what are the sources of pollution on the both sides. So there is, I think, huge possibility of like rather than looking at it, say that the other side is producing it, and as if we are not responsible. That's not going to help. And also the coordinated effort is the way out, because if one does the makes the effort, the other side doesn't, so it doesn't really actually produce the desired result.
Mhm.
So I think there is ample space available, there is some realization, but you need more political will and actually take actions. So green action or climate change adaptation initiative, if you actually work out together, in the sense that they have their own climate action, smog action, we have also, but how you actually develop synergy, how actually you harmonize those policies, how you can actually develop a shared realization, and uh, together actually respond to that. So that will be like, but at the moment what is happening is there have been some gestures and there's some realization, but on the political plane we don't really yet see a concrete action, collaborative action happening. So there's a need, like there should be political will. It's being demonstrated from the Pakistani side, and there is some realization on the other side, but actually the action has to be somehow put in place, because this month actually is we are having this smoke challenge, very badly affecting the lives of the people on both sides, and it will continue. I think next month is again it's there.
Thank you. So, do you think that environmental security threats like smog are actually having an impact in reshaping international relations in South Asia?
Well, there is a hope, because you see, South Asia holds, I mean, 25% of the world population.
Hmm.
And when it comes to the, say, climate change challenges or smoke challenges, uh, no, there is a larger realization as well that, well, they are affecting our lives. You have extreme weather events. You have like slowly smoke emerging, another season. No, it's being really referred as a new season. You are missing spring. You have had a SARC, and within that, you have had some effort being made to deal with the climate change issues. But again, what we see is on the ground, political will is probably not demonstrated in the manner that it should have been. So it is more like the political, say, tension, which is keeping the, say, both the leadership of the both side away from like responding very proactively to deal with that. So I wish it actually changes the approach, the mindset of the political leaders on both sides, to approach it in a manner, which I said that have more coordination, more efforts are being made to deal with that together. So the common approach, I'm not sure I mean, how much time it will take, but certainly there's some realization. I would say that at least, and then obviously there's a hope that it will actually bring the two sides together. You have a more like environmental dialogue happening. You have more environmental initiatives happening. You have more initiatives which are around that. For instance, you have a lot of deforestation, environmental degradation. So a lot of the such things which actually are degrading our environment, but ultimately it is like leading to say smoke, or also like water stress and all that, or water pollution itself relating to health issues like diarrhea and vectors, disease, borne diseases, and all that. So obviously, there should be actually uh, uh, focus on the human security, because we have more threats emerging from the non-traditional, say areas as well. There's this great challenge of the energy from the hydrocarbons. Even when the some energy transition is taking place, people are going for solarization on both sides. But still, this dealing with the emission or climate, say, diplomacy, should be actually, um, say, revitalized, because India and Pakistan are many times having the same positions when it comes to the climate changes. So there is a possibility, I would say.
Thank you for that. And lastly, I was wondering what you think gradual success would look like if Pakistan was to adapt or strengthen its public health policies in efforts to mitigate the smog crisis.
Definitely, Pakistan has to do a lot actually in the health sector. While pandemic actually exposed the weaknesses of the Pakistan health sector, and there have been some improvement. But under the conditions of climate change, new viruses are coming. You have seen that polio is back, which was like eradicated. You have this smoke challenge. I think it more say viral diseases. You can see that happening. So there's a need to really focus more on the health sector, and especially when there's a growing population. You have many youth bulge actually. You have a huge number of children. So obviously, the demand from the ground is a lot in terms of the if you look at the number of the people who will be actually facing the health issues, and with a lot of these climatic effects, whether it is flooding, drought, or say food shortages, and so many other things. Obviously, those are what Pakistan can do is not only just the health sector. I would say there should be incremental steps actually, uh, which can contribute in sustainable development and changing the mindset of the people. How you actually change your lifestyle, make it more sustainable, uh, and also realization amongst the young people, and especially reaching out the schools, and uh, say sharing the say or engaging them in say developing realization about their responsibility, their role in protecting the environment. So that is actually it is happening because we are connected with the say more youth because of being in the universities, and we have the community service as well, and our students are going to the different locality and schools, and say teaching these say young students there, uh, and their small project which I have come across show a lot of interest by them. So they are quite concerned about their environment. um, and then the practices, you see, like you are say how to manage your trash, you see, how to really keep them separate, you see. Even in the university we now are thinking of that we should have the plastic waste in a different bin, and organic say waste in different so it is like slowly you are developing that kind of say capacity amongst the young people to realize that they should respect their environment, protect it, and it's not just the tree plantation, but it is like how you every day you actually say deal with the say you keep in mind the sustainability aspect, no, in your life, you see. So that is very important, and it's a global problem, but solution lies like very much say at a local level, you see. So not from home, you see, you start there, you how you actually teach your young say kids conservation, you see. Conservation is something which is otherwise missing, but the realization of like don't waste water, don't really say split this trash around, and so all those things actually are the practices that that have to start from the home, and then obviously your schools, and then media. It becomes very important. We have the green clubs, youth clubs, and they are they also engage, very actively engaged in spreading the message around and contributing in that. So it is like say whole of the society approach, whole of the government approach, whole of the, I think, global, as a global citizen, if you look at this is a global phenomena. So but it is like how, like the society or the people in each region, area, or country actually help or contribute in say reducing the not only the emission, but also like it's contributing to the sustainability, you see. So sustainability, or how you preserve your environment should the say concern of all, actually. Otherwise I don't think the way the temperature is rising, you can see the every year we come across that this is the hottest year, this is the warmest year, but it is like every year it is say getting worse and worse. So somehow you have to really manage that, deal with that, and say preserve it for the future generations, you see.
Thank you so much for that, and thank you so much for joining us today and speaking to us about this crisis and showing us that it's not just an environmental crisis, but a huge health emergency, and kind of the imminence of what's going on, and a call for the government not just for will but for action, and for at a personal level for everyone to hopefully take some change and educate themselves about sustainability. But it's been great speaking to you, and thank you for
Thank you
joining
so
us.
much. Thank you so much for having me.
That's all for now. Thank you for watching.